And my other phone's plugged in. Alright, what's up, guys? This is Coop with C&T Designs again. And this time we have a little no sale symbol here that we did, all painted up. Kind of a weird little toned paint job on it. And the reason we've got that guy is because we have another bill to go through. So let's go over to, I'll just keep it on screen share and then get some of this junk out of the way. Alright, let me pull this back up at the top. Let me see what's going on. Alright, so this bill, this is HR 1207. This was introduced February 22nd of this Congress, which is last year, 2021. This is to require that all sales of ammunition have to be done through a licensed dealer, and they have to be done in person. So bear with me on this one, because this one runs through some stuff with some different reporting and different licensing schemes they have for us now. Let me shoot this guy kind of out of the way. Alright, so let's see. This was introduced in the House, like I said, February 2020, or February 22nd of 2021, by Miss Watson Coleman. All right, to require face-to-face purchases of ammunition, to require the licensing of ammunition dealers, and to require reporting of bulk purchases of ammunition. So not only do they want all dealers who are dealing in ammunition to be licensed, but they also have to report any bulk purchases. And we'll get down to it in the bill, what they consider a bulk purchase. The act may be cited as the Stop Online Ammunition Sales of 2021. Oh, these things drive me nuts. Alright, so for Section 1, limitations on, or Section 2, I'm sorry, limitations on purchases of ammunition. So they slide over here and they say they want to amend Section 923 United States Code, and this over here on the right is what they actually amended for the first part of this in 923. So they went from the language that was talking about importing or manufacturing, and they just inserted an or there. So how it reads now is no person shall engage in the business of dealing in firearms or ammunition until he has filed an application with and received a license to do so from the Attorney General. I think it's kind of sexist. They just say he up there. It's not very gender inclusive of them, is it? All right. So now you have to get a license from, and it doesn't say how much you have to get a license for, just to sell ammunition. So if I have ammunition and I want to sell it, doesn't matter whether it's 20 rounds, doesn't matter whether it's 100 rounds, I would have to be licensed through the Attorney General just to sell ammunition. Okay. So now they came in and they got into 921. Where's my 921? Alright, 921. So they got into definitions here. Let me slide back up because they started in. Alright, maybe that's it. Yeah, because they started in A11A of this section. So Section A, paragraph 11, and then subparagraph A, which is where we're at here. The term dealer means a person engaged in the business of selling firearms, and they added in or ammunition. So it used to be you just had to be licensed to sell firearms. Now you have to be licensed to sell ammunition. Alright. From there, from 922, then they bounce over to, or from 921, then they bounce over to 922. Let's see if I'm in the right place here. Alright, so 922. And they throw in quite a bit of stuff in 922. So starting off, we're looking at 922 in Section A, Paragraph 1. So it shall be unlawful for any person except a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, or licensed dealer to engage in the business of importing, manufacturing, or dealing in firearms. And they added in, I thought they were supposed to add in the ammunition there, but then they go in for Part BB. It is unlawful for any person except a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, or licensed dealer to sell ammunition, except that this subclause shall not apply to a sale of ammunition by a person to a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, or licensed dealer. So technically I could manufacture ammunition and I could sell it to a licensed dealer. I just couldn't do a person-to-person sale on it. Again, let's go back. It says it shall be unlawful to engage in the business of importing, manufacturing ammunition, or in the course of small or such business to ship, transport, or receive any ammunition. Or, well, that kind of screws the clause before, because this was talking about sales to a licensed dealer, and this is saying I have to be licensed just to manufacture. So again, they turn right back around on themselves like a snake eating itself and just completely run over what they were talking about in the first place. Because they want to make these laws so unreadable no one can follow them. And yes, that's exactly what they want. Okay, let's see. So this got into, again, Section II over here. Licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer, and this is it shall be unlawful to transfer ammunition to a person unless the licensee is in the physical presence of the person, has verified the identity of the person by examining a valid identification document as specified in 1028D of this title, of the person containing a photograph of the person, and get down here, they changed this, shall be unlawful, and here we go again with one of my most hated things. I wanted to call it favorite, but it's most hated: interstate or foreign commerce. Any firearm, or to basically to transfer any firearm or transport any ammunition, or transport is what they said here, to any person other than a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer, or licensed collector. So it's illegal to transport. Man, these people are just, they're so insane at this point. And I've still got a bunch of other bills. Like I said, I'm never going to run out of content for this. All right, let's move down to, let's see what they did. They did B. So this is where they basically inserted or ammunition down here, pursuant to section 1715. Let's see, was there anything else that they did? I think that's the last. Yeah, because then they moved on to 923, which was the penalties. So let me shrink this guy down. And that, I think, yeah, 920, well, 9. Oh, yeah, they did go back into 923, which is the licensing. So let's see, where were they at? They came down here. All right, section C down here. This is where they're at. So, each licensee shall prepare a report of multiple sales or other dispositions whenever the licensee sells sells, or otherwise disposes of at one time or during any 5 consecutive business days more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition to an unlicensed person. So if I go in on Monday and I buy 200 and something rounds, I go in on Friday, buy 200 and something rounds, and then on Wednesday I bought a couple hundred rounds. Well, that has to be reported. The report shall be prepared from a specified form by the Attorney General and forwarded to the office specified therein, and to the Department of State Police or state law enforcement agency of the state or local law enforcement agency of the local jurisdiction in which the sale or other disposition took place, not later than the close of business on the day that multiple sales or disposition occurs. So if I go buy over 1,000 rounds of ammunition in a 5 working day period. So if I started on Wednesday, there was a weekend, and I bought some more rounds the following week. Any 5 working days consecutive, then they want this stuff reported to the state police or state law enforcement agency, like in some cases in Georgia, it'd be like the GBI or the Georgia State Police. Then the local law enforcement agency and even like the sheriff's department. That's how. Oh, man. It's freaking insane. And you guys know, and I know, and anybody who actually goes out and practices shooting, going through 1,000 rounds within a couple of days or even a day is not that hard. So obviously you'd have to go out and replenish that ammunition. The thing is, it sucks right now is it's so damn expensive. But they look at this like having 1,000 rounds as some, you're just a danger to the state if you've ever went and got 1,000 rounds of ammunition. Being able to go over and order 1,000 rounds of 9mm to go shoot, or 1,000 rounds of 223 or 7.62 by 39 used to be pretty inexpensive. And you could train with your firearm. But now if you're doing stuff like that, even if you try to split it up, if you're doing it from the same shop within that 5-day period, they want you reported. Now, if you're doing that from multiple shops during that 5-day period or spreading it out a little bit more, then it won't be reported. And why do they think people aren't getting illegal ammunition like they're getting illegal drugs? It's being packed in from places like Mexico in the first place. So I said, this isn't about stopping anything except for making it hard on law-abiding citizens to own firearms and practice with their firearms and train with their firearms. That's it. That's all this stuff right here is about. So, anyway, that's this one. This one is relatively short compared to some of the others that I've got planned to do because we've got some seriously just insane bills coming up that make this one look like a minor inconvenience. So in the ID that they're talking about here, they will more than likely be something similar to like California, where your ID is a state-issued ID. This is where it will go. It will be a state-issued ID. Your guns will have to be registered, and you can only buy ammunition for the guns that you have registered to you. That's where this bill will go. That's where it will be amended. So it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other of these small little cuts, small little cuts, small little cuts, until you're just bleeding out. So, y'all be cool. I'm going to try to get in a better mood, and I'm going to see about covering some more of these things. So we will catch you guys in just a little bit. Later.